All right, everybody, got your microphones on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's June 10th, it's 2 p.m., and we have a special meeting to address some fee schedules. So I'll call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first on the agenda is amendment and approval of the agenda.
Move approval?
Any changes, anybody?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, and motion passes 3-0. Next up are general public comments. I don't see anybody here. There was somebody here, that was out in the hallway, but
He's not here, so.
he's not here now. So we'll move on to discussion action items. And this is to update department fee schedules. Ted, do you want
Yeah, I'll
to
do
walk
that.
us through that?
So all the departments have submitted new fees to the extent that they did submit them. You'll notice that in the ARS, it says 3 departments' fees are still being modified, Fair, Planning, and Sheriff's Office, and will be brought to the board at a later date. I noticed that the Fair Board's fees were confusing when I looked at them, and I checked with our new manager, and I checked with the current board, and that these fees were apparently approved by the prior board, and they don't, I think they bear looking at with our new manager and the new board in itself, so that we can, so that she's basically running the ship, so I wanted to hold that up. Sheriff's Office, I looked at sheriff's fees, and I noticed that no changes had been made. After hearing in the Budget Committee meeting last week that the Sheriff's Office fees for civil service in particular were not movable. And some references were made to that. I compared those fees to Coos counties, and Coos counties are higher. And so I wanted to look at that more carefully because every dollar does count as we move forward with the budget. And then the last one is, planning. We're looking at those because the planning fees seemed a little bit out of kilter, and I'm just not ready to bring those forward. As soon as I have them, I'm gonna meet with Scott Fine, and we'll go over those here shortly.
Okay.
The remainder of them, you'll see that there, if you go through them, you'll see there are increases on most of them. Some of the increases seem fairly substantial, but I don't feel that I have any real say in that particularly, because I think the voters spoke about funding, and so that if the departments feel that in many of these cases, if you look at like the building fees, for example, they've worked through each one of those fees, and they've correlated the FTEs involved in generating that particular type of service, and I think we need to do that throughout every department. So this is a start. We'll see where it goes.
Discussion?
No, sir.
I just appreciate all the departments taking a look at this with a real detailed eye, and especially after the comments from the Budget Committee about, identifying all the potential fees, what the fees are, what those increases can look like, because yes, every dollar does matter. So.
When you add it up, when you add up just $5 here, $5 there, even, it does make a difference. And we're in the business of providing these services in the most efficient manner possible.
Mm-hmm.
And to the extent that a person who's receiving that service can pay for it, then in a fair manner, then that of course doesn't extend to every service that we have,
Yeah.
but To the extent we can do that, I think it's in the best interest of the county.
Yep.
Had the levy passed, we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now, so. It's a must.
Well, I still think it's prudent to be looking at these fees and staying at current, you know.
Yeah, it is.
In particular, especially for the departments that are self-funded, you know, they have to stay up with current costs.
Right.
Otherwise, they become a drain on the general fund, so.
Yep. I agree, and we discussed the fact that fees are going to have to be raised. I think the public's aware of that, not much of a choice.
So, I would move to approve the updated county fee schedule effective July 1, 2024.
As presented.
As presented.
Okay.
I'll second that, I'm sorry.
All right, motion and a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes, motion passes 3-0. Ted, regarding the other fee adjustments, is there an anticipated time when those might?
Yeah, in the next, I think by Wednesday I can probably have something. I'm gonna meet with Terry from the fair tomorrow. And then, and regarding the sheriff's office fees, we can put something together here real shortly. And
Okay,
then-
so we may have to have another meeting like this to get those passed.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we will.
All right,
Okay,
very good. If there's no further discussion, we'll adjourn the meeting then.
thank you.
All right.
Mr. Olson wanted to talk to you if you